How's it going, everyone? Got quite a bit of PlayStation news and updates to go over in this video. A random PlayStation 5 upgrade just dropped recently. Want to give you guys a heads up on that, and it's a franchise that, will be making a comeback in a big way, so we'll talk about that. And on top of that, we got some Xbox on PlayStation updates. Definitely a little bit surprised, and I really shouldn't have been with the news of Forza Horizon 5 at this point. I want to also cover a little bit of that and the ripple effect it could have on other titles as well. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But first of all, Turok is now available on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. New features include optimization, support for higher refresh rates, ported to Series X and PlayStation 5, improved gamepad functionality and vibration support, localized achievements and trophies. The Brachiosaurus from the Turok beta ROM has been found and recovered. You'll find these dinos stomping around the new tree tops level. You can now swap ammo types for the tech bow and the shotgun whenever you want, just like Turok 2. The run walk toggle button has been added from the original game. By moving at walking speeds on the ground, you can get closer to enemies from behind before they notice you. You can now bind multiple weapons of the same button to cycle between them. Restored the High Priest homing blue magic attack and the Perlin's unused leap smash melee attack. Restored the gallery cheat code with the addition of viewing the bosses and Turok. You can also preview animations on each enemies. A bunch of new menu options have been added, a bunch of fixes and improvements, so if you want to jump back into Turok, you can do so now on PlayStation 5. It is $19.99. I certainly would not be paying $19.99. There is the Turok Trilogy bundle that is on sale right now. 65% off for $21. Why is that typically $60? That's insane. I don't even know that was typically $60. That's insane to me. But at the same time, I guess it is what it is. This Turok upgrade just came out, so if you want to dive into that, that is available right now. Turok will be getting another release. I believe it's scheduled for this year. Do not quote me on that. Turok Origins will be coming sometime in the future. And I think at this stage, it's speculated for 2025, but it may end up being a 2026 game. But we'll see how that turns out. That Turok upgrade is available now by Night Dive Studios. All right, moving on from that. Man, I got a lot of reception on my Forza Horizon 5 video that I was a little bit surprised about. So let me answer some of that before we get into the topic of this video, since I saw a lot of takes that I just want to bring up. Okay, first of all, the physical release. There is going to be no physical release for Forza Horizon 5. I think that is obviously going to upset a lot of people. Like, it's not that big of a deal for me these days, but I understand the importance of physical gaming. It's just one area, and I get it, that I get up in arms about certain topics within gaming, and other topics I don't get as up in arms over. It's just like, some things I've thrown in the towel on, some things I haven't. Physical gaming, it's like we're moving into an all-digital world, and I get that from Microsoft's standpoint, a 3-year-old game, and, Microsoft is moving more and more away from physical gaming. I mean, they're trying to get people on Game Pass, and really, on PlayStation, it is supposed to be more of a residual revenue stream. I can understand why they're going the route of not doing a physical game release. Do I like it? No. Ideally, you would want as many options available to the player. I totally understand that. Second point, I saw somebody saying that, oh, I'm a hypocrite for not making a big deal out of the early access gimmick. You guys have heard me make a big deal about it 80 million times. I will continue to make a big deal about it, but I'm sorry that I found a little bit of humor on this game being 3 years old and the early access gimmick being baked into this one. I do think it's annoying. What am I gonna do? I've been talking about this gimmick for years now. I was seriously on the jump and one of the first people making a big deal about the early access gimmick, and what did I say? That as soon as one game finds success, you're gonna find all of these other games jumping on board. I'm throwing in the towel. How much can I say? And I'm not really throwing the towel. Like, I'll still bring it up, but when it gets to this comical, where it's a 3-year-old game and they're still doing the early access gimmick for a 3-year-old game, and I also brought up, Monster Wild Capcom could have made a killing on it. Are you guys gonna dispute that? This is just the reality. I look at it from the lens of gaming from a business perspective, how these companies are gonna make the most amount of money possible, because guess what? That's what they're trying to do. And also, I look at it from the lens of the consumer. I assess it from both angles, where obviously I can understand why companies do certain things. I talked about in videos where I totally understand why PlayStation went the route. I can empathize them doing a game like Concord and not a Gravity Rush 3. From my consumer standpoint, I hate it, but I understand it. That's all I'm getting at. And when I said that, oh, Capcom could make a killing off of doing the Monster Hunter Wilds if they did an early access gimmick, you telling me they ain't eventually gonna think about that if they see all of these other games making a truckload of cash off this early access gimmick? Now, I have noticed, I feel like the Japanese publishers haven't jumped on board with the early access gimmick. Quote me if I'm wrong on that, and let me know if I'm wrong, I should say, but I don't feel like a lot of Japanese publishers really have been doing the early access gimmick. Like, did Final Fantasy VII No, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth didn't have it. FF16 didn't have it. Like, I'm thinking about it from the Square Enix JRPG release. Most of those games don't have it. The NIS America games certainly don't have it. I should say the Falcom games certainly don't have it. And they could go the route of doing it, but I just don't notice the Japanese publishers doing that. I'm sure some of them have, but, you know, just thinking about it in the case of Wilds, like, if the $110 version or even the $90 version had 48 hours of early access, it would have made a killing. That's the reality. Like, I can't fight that. That's the reality of the situation. But yeah, that's all I'm getting at. With that being said, countering all of those points, or at least bringing those up, yes, I agree, not having a physical release is unfortunate, and the early access gimmick, I just found it funny within the context of Forza Horizon 5. I'm sorry that I find some of the egregious monetization practices, like, a little funny. Yes, I think it's whack, but I've been saying, like, you guys know it's whack at this point that I think it's whack, but it is what it is. Moving on from that, Indiana Jones. Tom Warren reiterated that this game is scheduled for Microsoft's target of an April release on PlayStation 5. I am really curious if Indiana Jones is going to be a digital-only game. I don't think it is. I feel like Indiana Jones already has physical pre-orders live right now. Let's look that up on Amazon right now. It does not. Okay, I totally made that up. For some reason, I thought I saw that. That's going to be a really interesting one if they decide not to do a physical release for Indiana Jones, because it's not like that game's 3 years old. It's 6 months old, or, you know, it's 3 months old at this point. It came out in December. A couple things. I'm curious on whether or not they're going to do a physical release on this one, and whether or not they're going to do the early access gimmick with this one, because Indiana Jones on Game Pass did have the early access gimmick, and that's the thing. Most Microsoft published titles have the early access gimmick because it's a way to monetize on top of Game Pass, where you're selling these deluxe edition upgrades and you're offering fake early access, so these Game Pass subscribers are paying more money. It's actually really smart because you could, from their standpoint on game promotion, I'm not saying it's best for the consumer, but they can market Game Pass as, oh, you get all of these games day one, but at the same time, they'll turn around and sell these deluxe edition upgrades for fake early access, which they view that as real early access. We all know it's fake early access, especially for a game like Indiana Jones, so you're really not getting day one access. You get what I'm saying. They're monetizing it on the back end with the upgrade. It's incredibly crafty, don't get me wrong. I picked up on this a while ago that Microsoft was doing this, and a lot of people have, but very crafty as far as them doing that. But Indiana Jones is a game I played when it came out, and I enjoyed it. I liked a lot of elements of it. This is one of those games, a delayed release. I imagine it's gonna be $70. It's not gonna do very well. I'm telling you guys right now, this game is not gonna do very well if it's $70, but I absolutely think down the line, it goes on sale 50% off, 60% off, so on and so forth. I think a lot of people will check it out at that point because it has had this positive reception. I don't think it's this game of the year that some people made it out to be. I thought it was a solid, good outing, and Machine Games is a talented studio. That's what we should expect out of them. I just think the anticipation level was so low for Indiana Jones that when it was a pretty good game, a lot of people, I just felt like overrated a little bit. And look, people are entitled to have their opinion. I thought it was a good, serviceable game. I didn't think it was blow away by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a solid outing to have on PlayStation 5. I just certainly would not be paying $70 for it if I'm the regular person. A delayed release at $70, hell no. Like Forza Horizon 5, those games are so good that I'm not really gonna hate on people for spending $60 on it. I'm not gonna hate on people for spending money on whatever they want, but from a value standpoint, I can see the value out of Forza Horizon 5. I can't see that out of Indiana Jones. Like, I thought Indiana Jones was the perfect kind of game to bake into a Game Pass and just play it via there, because it's a solid outing, but it's not blow away where I think people are gonna be willing to spend $70 on a delayed release. That's my 2 cents, and if it doesn't have a physical release, well, that would be unfortunate as well. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts. A Turok free upgrade on that. Had to run through some of the Forza Horizon talk, especially based on my comment section and, you know, talking about the physical release and everything like that. And Indiana Jones, I think that's a game that, you know, there's gonna be some people, few people that pick up the game day one, but I think 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, once that game's 50-60% off, a lot more people are gonna check it out then. I just think it's one of those games that's gonna be a hard sell at $70. I think Hellblade 2 is gonna face similar issues when it comes out, and, you know, it's not really an issue. Ultimately, you port the game, it doesn't cost a lot of money, and you make money on the back end, you know, residually. That's great. It's just day one, I don't see it doing very well. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.